Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Reacts. And this time, the inmates control the asylum. And we are talking about one of the coolest topics I think we've talked about so far, where archaeologists unearth Egyptian queen's tomb and 13-foot Book of the Dead scroll.
Oh yeah, this is this is a really neat find. It's an old kingdom tomb, but they also found like later new kingdom coffins.
Ooh, interesting.
So tomb reuse maybe. Don't go there. Sorry, it's a bad joke. Kind of an inside joke, but this this is an astounding find. Especially since I love me some Old Kingdom. I don't get to hear about Old Kingdom enough. It's always Cleopatra. Can we do more than just Cleopatra?
What's kind of interesting about this is what ended up happening was Egyptologists and archaeologists have unearthed a cache of treasures, which include more than 50 wooden sarcophagi, a funerary temple dedicated to an Old Kingdom queen, and a 13-foot long Book of the Dead scroll.
Oh, this is at Saqqara, right?
Yeah, it's the Saqqara necropolis, which is a vast burial ground
That's
just south of Cairo. Um, and it was reported by Zahi Hawass, who is the Ministry of Tourism and Antiques head Egyptologist. He has the biggest monopoly on everything to do with Egyptology.
You want into Egypt to do some excavations? You gotta go through him.
Yeah, you got to get his approval. Everything that gets published has to go through him. It's interesting, but what ended up happening was Zahi Hawass and his colleagues, aka the people that probably did the real work, discovered the coffins, which, as Aaron mentioned, date back to the New Kingdom, which is 1570 to about 1069 BC, and they were buried like 30 to 40 feet deep.
Yeah, these they, which honestly makes sense if they were kind of overlapping with some of the Old Kingdom stuff. So it's 33 to 40 feet deep. It's like you're hitting a lot of old stuff.
Well, and they would reasonably expect to find old stuff considering that they were excavating right next to the pyramid of King Teti, the first of the six dynasty rulers of the Old Kingdom from 2680 to 2180. And that started in 2010. But part of the issue is the pyramid that they were excavating, they didn't know who it belonged to. There wasn't a name that said pyramid dedicated to Steve. Steve's pyramid.
Oh, I don't know if it's a pyramid. I think it's just a tomb. Oh no, it does say pyramid. Never mind.
Yeah, they do
Sorry,
say
I
pyramid.
missed that. Well, I thought I was imagining complex, not like pyramid,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, they finally managed
This is
to
a
identify her as being um, Queen Nearit, which that name was etched onto a wall in the temple and was found written onto a felled obelisk near the entrance of the burial. So I mean,
yeah.
we
So
we know pretty
this is a
accurately
brand new
who.
queen. Like this is a brand new queen that we now know about from the Old Kingdom.
New Old Kingdom
Yep.
Queen
But
unlocked. And I love
speaking of Old Kingdom,
I
Oh,
love
did they drop the new Pharaoh DLC?
and Zahi Hawass,
Colin just made.
the Egyptologist, was his response is, "I've never heard of this queen before. Therefore, we add an important piece to Egyptian history about this queen."
So in Egypt they have like a list of pharaohs, or like so
Oh,
you would
yeah,
add your name
the
to the
names
list of
list.
pharaohs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And queens aren't typically put on it, but sometimes they are sometimes under a more masculine name. And like Queen I want to say I think Hatshepsut was put on there.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if
Hatshepsut got on there because she purposely had herself depicted with a beard.
oh yeah, she's one of the ones that kind of like masculinizes herself in an effort, to like assert to the standard gender roles and whatnot. But uh this as far as you know, queens like having being remembered, the only times we ever really get to know about them are through their own tombs, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, what we got like the trifecta, right? The original three: Hatshepsut, Nefertiti, and Cleopatra.
Now we got another one
Yeah,
to
I
add to
actually
that list.
learned. Yeah, I actually learned about, for for anyone else who ends up being like a little more curious about, queens of Egypt. I recommend When Women Ruled the World by Kara Cooney. You get to learn about six queens of Egypt, including Hatshepsut,
Yeah, I think I have that book
Hatshepsut,
buried
and
deep in my
um, Cleopatra as well. Obviously, um, but you also get to learn about some new ones like Marinith, Nefersobek. They are all very. Oh, of course, Nefertiti. Can't forget Nefertiti, but
Yeah.
it brings an interesting perspective.
And going back to this article a little bit, this is the first time archaeologists have discovered 3,000-year-old coffins at Saqqara, which is one of Egypt's richest archaeological site. And in recent months, they have also found newer exciting finds, which include sealed sarcophagi and ancient statues. And when this news dropped, Hawass even dropped a few extra little nuggets, which actually this morning we found another shaft as if it was breaking news and they weren't about to uncover it. And inside that shaft, they found a large limestone sarcophagus. The first time they found a limestone sarcophagus inside the shafts. So, kind of interesting. And they think that a lot of this is followers of the Teti worshipping cult after the pharaoh's death.
Yeah. So, in case uh someone is like, some people might be confused, you did technically have a bit of a cult, like something similar to like the Roman imperial cult in the later Roman Empire, but you pharaohs were in fact deities, like incarnate in a sense. So you did have a bit of a sort of
Well,
ancestor and uh deity cult.
yeah, well, that was, I think, true as far back as Julius Caesar trying to, borderline deify himself. And that's why Augustus, and all that, all that shit has the cult of the emperor. I mean, Jesus gets nailed to a cross for saying, "Don't pay the religious tax to the cult of the emperor." That is the official crime that he is charged with by Pontius Pilate.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because he says, "Give Caesar what is Caesar's, give God what is God's," and Caesar,
Render.
because God and Caesar are now mutually exclusive categories. That pissed the Romans off.
Yeah, render unto Caesar. But yeah. Um Lots of cool stuff always coming out of Egypt. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we very briefly touched on Egypt in the past, and we did a episode on the Book of the Dead. So finding a 13-foot Book of the Dead scroll, kind of cool, kind of neat, and worth talking about. But I think that's a good point for us to wrap up. Thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.